And when it comes to Paolo Banchero, yes, he was named the Rookie of the Month for the month of February. That was pretty good for him. He did have a couple 30-point games and was pretty consistent in that month as well. So definitely very happy for the rookie out of Duke. Then speaking of Duke, yes, they had a big rivalry game this last Saturday. As I mentioned, it was a big Saturday for college hoops for me, going against North Carolina. And yes, bring it out. They were able to sweep them in the season series. They were able to win 62-57 on the road at North Carolina. Kyle Filipowski once again had a double-double, like 20-plus points, around 13 rebounds, something like that. But he was definitely showed he was able to play against some of the better competition, and it's great to see that a lot of these Duke players are stepping up and forming well. It's definitely very reminiscent of the times they went on runs to the championship, but we will see. And I believe this is like the first time in quite a bit since that the two games that they played North Carolina that they were able to hold them under 60 points, because the score was pretty much the same, except Duke scored one more point in the last game in Cameron Indoor. So it's a pretty nice feat, and it's just kind of surprising that the very last time Duke was able to do that in one season was the season they won a championship with John Shire leading the team, who is now the head coach of the team. So I don't know. We'll see. Duke has a weird way of playing very well right at the end of the season, and then all of a sudden they lose in the first round or second round. So we'll see. It kind of depends, because I know that team that he led, they won the ACC tournament and still won all the games in the March Madness tournament. So that was amazing feat that they were able to do. But I know when they won with all their freshmen into the 2014-2015 season with like Tyus Jones, Jaleel Okafor, Grayson Allen, Justice Winslow, they went into that ACC tournament and I think they lost the first or second game. So they didn't even win the ACC tournament, but were able to go on that run and win the championship still. So we will see. Definitely looking forward to the madness now that we're in March. Then when it comes to the Lakers, yes, they were playing yesterday, I think early afternoon, against Golden State in LA, and were able to get that victory surprisingly 113-105, because it was a return of Stephen Curry. So he did score 20-plus points, but luckily they were able to get the victory. AD went off, had 39 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, so he definitely blew up. Especially even from the last time. I know the last time they played Golden State, he didn't do really well. He did have, like 12 points and a lot of rebounds and blocks, but he didn't really show up points-wise. And they were still able to get that victory. But yes, luckily he was able to be a bit more dominant. It just sucks because it seems like they're winning one and losing one right now, and they had a big chance this last Friday, I believe it was, to get a victory against a team who was ahead of them in Minnesota. But they let that game go at the very last second, which sucked, and kind of just in limbo. They can't really get to that 10th spot, which is the last spot to be in the play-in for the playoffs. So we will see. Then when it comes to, yes, my miscellaneous stuff, I did end up seeing Creed 3 over the weekend on Saturday. It's a big premiere for it, like this Thursday, Friday. So yeah, it's a pretty good movie if you're a fan of the Creed series and Rocky series overall. Definitely like it. It's a really good boxing movie, very good family movie as well. Might get into a spoiler thing, so I'm gonna say it right now. So if you don't want to hear it, it has to deal with my next story, which is why I have to mention it. But yes, I'm gonna talk about it now. So yeah, sadly, the character Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, is not in this movie, but it is kind of not that crazy to believe once you've heard like of the drama leading up to this. And I kind of thought he was like more upset at Michael B. Jordan, but when it really dove into the articles and stuff, he did really end up saying that he did have a problem with the producer, Irwin Winkler, who's a name I always saw in all the Rocky movies. But I guess when Sylvester Stallone made the deal way back when he was, obviously struggling and trying to get the movie made himself, he kind of gave up a bunch of the rights to this producer and pretty much never was able to get them back. And he's more upset because he's not able to leave something for his family, his daughters. And he says it's not about money, but that's pretty much what it is, because if they were able to make anything Rocky related, his name or his daughter's names would be producers on the movie, and they would still end up getting a check from it as well, which even this movie still says produced by Sylvester Stallone, but sadly it's not in it. He is mentioned a couple times, the name Rocky, but don't see any video, sadly. And yeah, it's just tough. And he even said recently that if Michael B. Jordan had a really good script for Creed 4 and Rocky was in it, and he was willing to do it, but he did say if that the Winkler producer is still connected, he does not want to be any part of the process of any Rocky movies or Creed movies, anything like that. Because I think even that producer was trying to get something going where there was like a Drago series when it involved with I think the younger Drago and the older Drago together, in some type of TV series thing with them going through their stuff as well. But overall, either way, it's still he was missed, especially in a couple of moments that it would have definitely helped out or hit you harder if Rocky was there. But yes, the movie was great. I mean, the guy who's playing the main villain in this movie, Jonathan Majors, the actor, he was recently in Ant-Man, where he's playing like the main villain of all the Marvel or Avengers stuff. But this character he played was even more menacing than what he has been playing in the Marvel stuff up to this point. But yeah, you could definitely see like at least him in another movie, maybe a trilogy of them or something like that. But yeah, it'll be definitely very exciting to see where they go with the story, because it did kind of end off where it could be the end or it could be another, go at it too, because even some of the Rocky movies were like that as well. You kind of thought it was just the end, and then 5 to 10 years later they're making another freaking movie. So we'll see if Michael B. Jordan still wants to stay in shape, but he's still a young guy, so it's not that hard for him. So we'll see. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Bye down.